Welcome to Fortune Cookies Tarot. This is a 12-month reading for Jason Momoa. It follows up my 12-month reading for Lisa Bonet, his estranged and soon-to-be ex-wife. So we will be right back. Welcome back. My name is Annabelle. I'm a tarot practitioner for over 35 years. And in this video, we are going to take a 12-month look at Jason Momoa. So I did do a video yesterday on Lisa Bonet. This is a viewer request. So the two of them is a viewer request or viewer request. So we're going to take a look at how his year is going to go. So if you want to see how Lisa's year is going to go, you can go back into my videos and go check out hers. So let's see what's up with him. You all know I love that Jason Momoa so much. He is super handsome, super hottie. I also love Lisa Bonet. I think that they are a very attractive and gorgeous couple. And I was really sad when the whole divorce thing went down. So they did separate last year. It was quite the news. And this year, she has filed for divorce in the first week of the year. I believe it was January 6th. So her year looks like it's pretty good. A little bit of back and forth. Looks like they're getting along cooperatively, but let's see what his year is going to look like. So we are shuffling the cards. We've got some jump outs. That was a 9 of Cups, if you did see it, which says good stuff. But let's see if the shuffle does that. We don't want to take any sloppy shuffles. So we have January, February, March. So looks like January is going to be off to a slow start for him with this Knight of Swords in reverse. He may say a few things that he is not really going to mean, maybe things that are going to be counterproductive. When we go into February, this is our sad guy. Looks like he's going to be a little bit sad about that very special Cupid-based holiday that we all have that can be really challenging if you don't have a special someone. By the time we get into March, things are looking better. So let's take a closer look at January, what that negative speech pattern is going to be. So just to remind my viewers, the Knight of Swords, when he is in the upright, is thinking pretty rapidly, and he is saying things and doing things. Whoop, I got 2 cards on that one. So our clarifier cards, we have the 3 of Swords in the reverse, which is good because the 3 of Swords, it's a pretty tough card, but it does say that we are getting over our losses, getting over our situations. We're starting to feel better. Here we have the 4 of Pentacles in reverse. So he's not being quiet or concealing anything about finances, about where they're going from there. And with the Justice card, we do have participation from the powers that be. That would be courts, things like that. When we get into February, what do we have here? Pulling from the middle of the deck. So he's very sad about not having that firm rooted existence within his family. We have the Hierophant in reverse. And when we have the Hierophant is always a seat of power. It's really where we take our baseline sensibilities from. So when he goes in reverse, we're kind of cut loose and rudderless to a certain extent. And that's echoed also in the Ace of Pentacles in reverse. He's having some trouble finding his footing and figuring out where he's going to go. Now, I don't know if he's still living in that RV. They have a pretty serious, it's really a tour bus. It's not really an RV. There is a difference between tour buses and RVs. Tour buses are usually decked out pretty hardcore. Then we do have another level where we have the celebrity trailers that they would have on set. And I'm pretty sure that his mobile facility is pretty decked out. He was living in it for quite some time after the split. People were talking about, oh, he's living in a trailer. Trust me, some of those trailers are nicer than the house I live in, believe it or not. Not that my house is any kind of a mansion. We live in a cozy witch's cottage out here in the wilderness of our township. So under the surface, we do have the Magician card, which is a neat card because sometimes the Magician is a little bit of a flashy, flirty kind of guy who's trying to make things happen. So we may have that kind of circumstance happening here, but I do see that it's a mask over the disjointed emotionality that he has going on. So when we have the Sun card, that's going to be March. We're looking at some interesting things in March. I am shuffling for you. No tricks here, even though I'm talking fast. So we're going to have the Five of Swords in the upright, the Two of Cups, which is indicative of getting into the emotions of splitting. So, we may do a logistical split, but a lot of the time the emotional split takes a little bit longer to get there. With the Five of Swords, we do have conversations and collaborations with powers that be. And it does look the Knight of Pentacles. He is going to be taking care of everyone financially. So if you go back and you watch the Lisa Bonet review of her 12 months, there's a lot of discussion with possibly forensic accountants. Now, I don't think that this is a negative situation where they're like, you're hiding money, you're not giving me what you need. I think they need the forensic accountant to really tweeze out the separate accounts and the separate monies that they have. So I don't think that, putting a forensic account in there is a bad thing. When people have blended accounts, that does just become an eventuality in really, really large, high value divorces. So let's move on to the next 3 months. We're going to do April, May, June. April, May, June. I think we're getting into some craziness here, but I think this has to do with his career. I think in April, that chaotic Five of Wands in reverse, I think he's got a lot of stuff going on work-wise, and adding into that the family stuff, I think it becomes a little bit complicated. He's going to have to lean on Lisa Bonet quite a bit to be the head parent for a little while. And I don't foresee them having issues with the balance of parenting. I think they're going to really balance this out and be quite good at it. If you do look at the Lisa Bonet, I think there's going to be some discrepancy with the kids going into their professional careers. I think there's a push to do some more professional work on their part. And I think Lisa wants to hold them back. And Jason's opinion is going to be let them do it. If they want to go forth and have a professional career in Hollywood, we should, capitalize on that now, let them get their foundations. But I think he really does want to hold back. So in April, we're going to see she's leaning she's being leaned on by the family much more as the primary parent. He's going to be busy with work. So I don't know if this is contracts or actual production that he's going to be doing, but he's going to be a little bit of an absentee person. I don't mean that in a negative sense. I think he's just not going to be able to dedicate the time, the face time that he needs with the family, or that he would want to do with the family, just because he's trying to get some things done professionally. So May, we look at the Empress is in reverse. And this is where I think he really does start to understand that the foundation of the family is gone at this point. He's really starting to reconcile with that. He's much, much sadder than we're going to see on the outside about it. But at the same time, his career is going to take the forefront. So I don't think that he's going to have an official place to lay his head. I think part of this is a real estate thing. He doesn't have an actual home that everyone calls home. Even if he does have a temporary residence that, has 4 walls and a basement, I think it's just not the permanent home. It's not a setup for the family. It'll be something that he does miss, is that family home. So I think that may be something that he needs to move forward on. When we get into June, we are here with not hanging on to things, not being stuck on them. He's going to make some decisions. And again, we get that Four of Pentacles in reverse, giving, giving, giving. That I think we're getting into the place where we're looking at more finances and making sure that everything is equitably distributed. So that looks good. Again, I'm not seeing that this is a fight or a struggle. I don't see that we're, you know, really getting into an ugly kind level divorce. I think this is, you know, going to be a pretty cooperative divorce. I think they both have their heads screwed on straight. I don't get a lot of fire from them. I get a lot of goofiness from him. You know, a lot of joke cracking, and you know, it's masking the sadness of not having the relationship anymore. Though I think he is a bit more upset about the relationship ending. I shouldn't say that. I shouldn't say that he's a bit more upset. I think he's more emotional about it, and I think Lisa Bonet is a bit more practical about it. So July, August, September. So in July, Five of Pentacles, this, I think he realizes that he's rudderless. Really, the rudderlessness is really taking place. And part of the problem is that he can't find a place to land. He's not sure. I feel there's a lot of Hawaii here. I really feel like he wants to have that place in Hawaii and really lean into that. But that becomes problematic because the kids really have, you know, a home situation on the mainland. So I think maybe we're going to see a semi-permanent residence in Hawaii. I think paradise is going to be a landing place for him, but it becomes difficult because he can't really have the kids there at his discretion at a moment's moment. So, you know, with school and everything, it really becomes difficult. So also there's something about the hotness of the situation that happened in Maui not long ago. You guys know what I'm talking about. I think he doesn't want to go there as well. August, oof, we get this Ten of Swords, and the Judgment card with the Knight of Swords in reverse. August becomes a little bit alarming for me. So I don't know if this is passing on to the next level for himself, where he really picks himself up and dusts himself off. You know, there's going to be a low point between July and August where he really is just like, this really stinks. Like, as good as co-parenting as they're going to be, I just think there's always this sense of, you know, I'm losing some time. And I actually experienced this with my co-parent. You know, my son has a lot of stuff to do on the weekends because he is a dedicated musician. And unfortunately, because we have competitions and practices every Saturday, the weekends that he gets to spend with his dad are very, very limited. And, you know, we need to come up with some creative solutions for that. So I think this is a realization that unfortunately befalls a lot of co-parents when there's a school system situation or when there's extracurricular stuff going on, and they, you know, it's practices and competitions. They really can't be a part of it. So, you know, with competitions, you just wind up sitting there. You know, football games, you just wind up sitting in the crowd. You don't really get to spend time with your kids. You can bask in their glory, but you can't really interact with them. And the older they get, the more interesting they get. So, you know, I do think that this is going to be a little bit of a disappointment. Perhaps if we do pick up this semi-permanent home in Hawaii, which I'm seeing intuitively, he's going to miss the kids because they're just not going to be there. And so this may be a second thought on that. When we get to September, we have that Queen of Wands in reverse. This looks like we're wrapping up some work things, trying to figure out a better way to protect the parenting aspect. You know, as much as I wanted this to be focused on the, you know, the relationship aspect of him, really is leaning into his kids and work. So I think the balance that he has to find between the kids and work, he really wants to preserve that family life, restore that family life to a certain extent, the transformed family life that he's going to have post-divorce. He's willing to do whatever it takes but he is offering up his opinion on a number of things, which may be counter to other people. So, and that's mediators and attorneys, whomever may be involved in the split at this point. But he does really want to preserve his interaction with the kids, and I can't blame him for that. So, wanting to live in paradise is one thing. It may be good for his head, good for his soul, but it might not be good for the family situation. So we're getting into the fourth quarter, the final stretch of 2024 for Jason Momoa. October, November, December. And so the Tower card, those of you that follow me, you know that Tower card, when it's in reverse, it's something we did to ourselves. What did you do, Ray? So is this the finalization of the divorce? Are we pushing forward and really calling it quits in that month? I'm not sure. I'll have to go back and look at Lisa Bonet's again, but that World card, we have shut something out. This may be the result of his actions prior. That may be why we're seeing this. The World card comes, we're cutting things off with the Queen of Swords. It's really a much gentler approach when we have the Queen of Swords in the upright. It's the best decision for everyone, but we are cutting off. And the Sun, we have sunnier things that are to come. The Page of Wands, when we get into November, is, hey, let's start anew. Let's see if we can get things going anew. Let's see if we can get our act together. I don't even know if I cut that correctly. Let me do that again. So we're going to do some shady stuff with finances. So, when we get the Page of Wands, that has to do with work. But we're going to see some finance stuff that was maybe a little bit underhanded show up. I don't think this is Jason Momoa. I think this is someone, outside of his family circle. This is definitely, there's going to be some money issues that are going to come up professionally, where he's going to see that maybe some money was owed to him that was not distributed correctly, which is going to be interesting, or maybe some issues with some money that should have been distributed to him. And when I get into December, this Nine of Swords, my concern is that this is some tax issue. I think someone's going to come after him for someone, a certain three-letter organization is going to have some questions about his finances and taxes. I think somebody's going to try and run him through a meat grinder a little bit, a small meat grinder. Maybe it's like a garlic press, but I just have a feeling there's going to be some issues with some monies that were or were not paid. And to this extent, I do think that it is incorrect. I think they're going after him for incorrect reasons. It's really putting him under such an awful microscope. It's like there's one individual at that three-letter organization who's like, ooh, he's getting divorced. Let's see what we can do. They've got a forensic accountant in there. So I just feel like there's going to be a peek at his finances. Him in particular, not Lisa Bonet's, which is interesting. So is that going to work out for him? The Hermit card, he's kind of standing alone on this. We'll do one card right in the center. Yeah, he's kind of going to be standing on his own for that. So do we get some help? As long as he puts the right people in there, he's going to get some help. So I think Lisa Bonet is actually going to offer up some information and say, hey, you know what? You guys are trying to twist the arm of someone who just went through a significant event, so knock it off. I think she's going to step in there and say, no, you guys are wrong. You guys are wrong. But who tells that three-letter organization that they're wrong? Not a lot of people. So that's what I see. So all in all, it looks like it's going to be a lot of up and down for him. Just trying to right his path after the split and balance the family and work situation with the kids. So I hope you guys enjoyed that. If you'd like your own 12-month reading, you can book it down below at the link in my signature. A lot of people do get these at the beginning of the year. They also get them for their birthdays. So it's really fun. We have gift card option if you do want to get a gift card for someone and you have a birthday present that you have to buy. So I hope you enjoyed this. Please like, share, and subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next